The old way of thinking that I had is that you work hard and then you save hard. You put that money in the pile. And then when you're 65 or 70, you get income that, helps you live when you can't work anymore. That was my old sequence. And it's probably yours too, because it's everybody's. Well, every time I break off a piece, the pile gets smaller. When I realized that distinction, that's when passive income at 65 stopped making sense to me. I needed money that worked when I couldn't. So I want to show you how I'm thinking about this now. The way that I order my money has changed completely, and it started with one simple flip. I'm going to draw the whole thing out on this board. This is what stuck looks like. $3 million net worth. I was talking to a friend recently. This is his actual number. He can't quit working though. He can't take a month off. He told me that he feels like he's one bad year away from having to start over. And I've been thinking about this more and more recently. But for years, this was the number that I was building towards. Not 3 million necessarily, but the net worth number. That was the plan, right? Stack it up, hit the number, be financially free. And I wasn't broke, but I was building the wrong shape and I didn't know it. So I want to show you how I'm thinking about this now. So everything that I was taught to do with money builds this shape. I call it the pile, right? And inside of it, it's earn, save, stack. The pile gets taller, right? It's IRA, it's home equity, it's stocks, maybe some bonds, a brokerage account, things like that, right? And if the app on my phone showed a bigger number than it used to, then it felt like winning. But I had a conversation with a friend of mine several years ago. He actually invests with me in some real estate now, but before that, he'd built a big income in the direct sales industry. He had a big team, big paychecks. He was the guy standing on the stage at the national event with the spotlight on him, like the whole thing. And then the company changed the compensation plan. There was one decision that was made in a room that he wasn't in, and his income, that income that he'd spent years building, it basically vanished overnight. Here's what he told me later. He said, Caleb, the money was never really mine because it flowed through someone else's permission. That story and that statement stuck with me because when I looked at my own pile, I saw the exact same flaw. So watch, my IRA would charge me penalties if I needed to take that money early, if I touched it, if I wanted to withdraw it early. The equity in my house, my family lives in it. I could see the money, but it couldn't do anything for me financially because you can't spend equity unless you want to take out a HELOC and pay interest on your own money, which is almost ridiculous when you think about it. So most of my pile was locked. It showed up on a screen, but it did literally nothing for me right now. But not only was it locked, it was lumpy. That's what I realized. It's a weird word, but what I mean by that is it only turned into cash when I sold something. And selling is an event. It takes time. It takes timing. It takes a buyer showing up with the money. And also the pile shrinks, right? That's the one that really sucked. The only way that the pile feeds me is if I eat it. So every dollar out means the pile gets smaller. My whole financial plan, I realized, was slow motion self-liquidation with the market controlling the compensation plan. The pile, I realized, was more of a scoreboard, but it wasn't a paycheck. And it took me years to see the difference. So then I started to think about money in a different way, right? What if instead of a pile, what if I could build a pipe, right? Over here, this is my life. My life costs money. Whatever lifestyle that I want to live costs money. What if I could have a pipeline that was feeding money into my life that I didn't have to go out and work for? I'm going to tell you when this concept stopped being a financial concept for me. At 9 months old, my son had a life-threatening stroke. And my entire life just stopped. We were in hospitals, we were in waiting rooms. I was in the fog that you can only describe, if you've been through it, right? And I remember realizing something in the middle of all that. Nothing about that season cared what my net worth was, cared what I was worth. The only financial question that mattered was whether money showed up while I wasn't working. And I realized the pile couldn't answer that question, but the pipe could. See, a pipe is an asset that pays me every month, pays me monthly, right? Rent checks, distributions from passive LP investments, interest, money that shows up whether I sold anything, whether I traded anything that month or not. And the source of that, when you do it right, actually stays intact, right? It's an asset that holds value. It's an apartment building. It's energy, right? That pipe keeps feeding me, and and the source of it keeps standing, whereas the pile, every time I break off a piece, the pile gets smaller. And that, when I realized that distinction, that's when passive income at 65 or 70 stopped making sense to me. I needed money that worked when I couldn't. And until I went through all that with my son, I didn't realize that could happen at any time, not just when I'm old. It could happen at any moment when I least expected it. So I had to get honest with myself. And I went line by line through everything that I owned. And I asked one question: what did this pay me last month? And the honest answer for almost all of it was nothing. Nearly everything that I had built was sitting on the bench, waiting for playing time when I was 65 or 70 years old. So I ran my own numbers both ways, through the pile and through the pipe, to see what the difference would be, not by changing the input, but simply by changing the order. See, the pile way is typically referred to as the 4% rule. You can sell down 4% a year, hope that the market cooperates for 30 years. And so on 3 million, that's about $120,000 a year that you can draw down off of a $3 million net worth. But every withdrawal in a down year does permanent damage. So that's not retirement or financial freedom. That's a part-time job as a market forecaster, and financial anxiety is the benefit package. But under the pipe, I realized, hey, I could get probably $180K to $240K a year just by changing the order. See, the pipe way is assets that are built to pay: real estate cash flow, private credit interest, energy distributions. Income first assets tend to yield meaningfully more than just a withdrawal rate, and the asset behind it is still standing. So now, these are illustrations, they're not promises. I'm sketching on a whiteboard, okay? I'm not quoting you some kind of return. Everything that I own carries risk, and I underwrite every one of these deals before I invest in them. But the point isn't the exact number. The point is the shape of the money, right? Pile or pipe. It's the same 3 million. One version I eat, and then one version continues to feed me while the source stays intact. And the real reason that makes sense for me is I'm a firm believer in the biblical principle that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And if I save and invest in a pile just so I can eat it all later when I'm dying, then I'm not being a wise man. And so here's what actually changed the game for me. I call it the flip. See, there's an old way, and then there's my new way, okay? And this illustrates the actual change that I made, right? It's not an asset. It's not a new asset. It's a new order of operations, right? And so the old way of thinking that I had, that I inherited, I guess, is that you work hard right? Whether that's in a business or a job or a career of some sort. And then you save hard, take as much of that money as you can to save. You put that money in the pile, right? You pile it up in IRAs, 401ks, brokerage accounts, home equity. And then when you're 65 or 70, you get income that, helps you live when you can't work anymore. That was my old sequence. And it's probably yours too, because it's everybody's, right? Work, stack, the pile maybe becomes income in 30 years at the exact moment that I'd be too old to enjoy it or need that kind of financial freedom. And income, noticed, came last. See, that was the flaw. Now, when I made the flip in my thinking, the new way was, I still had to work to generate income, right? Run my business or job or whatever it is. But then the next thing is I want to use that income from my work to buy income producing assets that pay me monthly from the start and that hold their value. What that does is it provides a more secure current financial situation for me. I have more security. If I lost income from my business or God forbid, lost a job or something like that, I still have some income now that can help take care of me and my family. But the powerful part about it is that a lot of that, as I'm working, can still go into the pile. So this is the order that I run now. Every dollar that I used to throw on the pile now goes to buy an income stream first. The income then buys back my time, not right now, not when I'm 65 or 70. And the part that I didn't expect is that the pile still grows, because income assets have value. They appreciate. My net worth kept climbing even after the flip. It just became the byproduct instead of the goal. And so it's the same job, the same savings rate, the same discipline, just done in a different order. And it created for me a completely different life. And so this is how I invest today. And it's why I only put my money in things that pay while I hold them. See, net worth is what happens on the way to cash flow. I had it backwards for so many years. And the fair question that folks ask is, well, hey, if the pipe works so much better, Caleb, then why is every advisor that I've ever sat with pushed the pile? And it took me a while to figure this out. And then I started realizing how they get paid. See, the wealth management industry earns a percentage of assets under management, or AUM, right? That's how they get paid. Piles of assets pay them. Pipes pay you. When income leaves the brokerage account and it lands in your checking account, somebody's fee just left with it. And they're not evil, they're just paid to keep you stacking. And once I saw that, I stopped being surprised by it. And I started realizing I need to take more ownership of this rather than just depending on commissioned, financial advisors or brokers to care about my money as much as I do and care about my family and my situation and my future as much as I do. And so people ask me now, Caleb, if you had to start over, where would you start? Right? And here's my honest answer. The first thing is I'd want to define my monthly number. And it's important that it's monthly number, right? See, the first thing is I stopped asking myself how much I needed to retire. And I started asking myself, what kind of lifestyle do I want to live? And how much does that life cost per month? That number's a lot smaller. It's a lot more useful to me than some big lifetime number. And it's the number that the pipe has to hit. The second thing is I would audit. This is what I did. This is what I told you about. Audit my pile. Okay, whatever you have, right? Line by line, audit it and ask the simple question, what actually paid me last month? And I realized when I did this, almost everything that I owned was on the bench. And when I saw that in writing, it absolutely changed my financial behavior more than any book or any podcast or anything that I've ever read, right? Now, the third thing that I would focus on if I was starting over is then move one brick. Don't try to move the whole pile all at once. Just move one brick. I moved one brick. I didn't liquidate my entire life. I took one asset and I pointed it at something that pays me monthly. And I'm going to tell you, the first time that a deposit hit my account from something that I actually owned, it felt completely different from watching a number on an app on my phone go up. And that feeling is what kept me going. So here's where I landed, right? I used to track one number. What was I worth? I don't care anymore, right? I still track one number, but it's a different one. And for illustrative purposes, it's $18,750. That's the monthly number. It's what I got paid last month. For reference, that's $3 million at 7.5% divided by 12 months in a year. And I'm just giving that as an illustration, but that flip changed everything for me. It changed my money. It changed my calendar. It changed what I could be present for when it mattered. So take from all of this what you want. But if you're curious how I structure income first investments, there's a link you can click below in the description. But mostly, if you make good money and you still feel stuck, I just ask yourself the question that got me moving. And it's not, what's your net worth or what are you worth? It's, what did you get paid last month?